But if for some reason Alabama does miss the playoffs again this year, are we going to be talking about Nick Saban's legacy in a different light?
I think, yes, you have to.
Obviously, you've seen in the past couple seasons now, really, they've taken hold of college football.
But Nick Saban no longer runs college football.
But give me LSU to continue to make those strides under Brian Kelly. He came down here to the SEC, to Baton Rouge, to win that elusive national championship. I think he gets it probably a year ahead of schedule, year 2.
I'm already leaning to Alabama to win the national championship. Done. Alabama's done. Kirby, goodbye. Here comes Alabama. They're going to win it all. So if I'm betting right now, I don't even know what it says in Vegas. I'm betting Alabama to win the national championship.
Saban is on short time.
Is it all over? Is their time really up? Alabama begins fall camp with more question marks than answers. The media and fans are hyping Georgia and LSU as world beaters and quickly dumping Alabama's stock as if it were as toxic as Enron. For the first time during his reign in Tuscaloosa, Nick Saban no longer resides as the king of college football, as the Georgia Bulldogs have doubled up on national championships in as many seasons. Now Saban must dive deep within his bag to pull out one of his best coaching jobs ever. Starting the preseason ranked number 5, some consider this a rebuilding year for the Tide, and others wonder if Alabama is losing its fastball. The Crimson Tide has been more dependable than a 1993 Honda Accord to get at least 10 wins, but with 2 new coordinators, 3 quarterbacks fighting for the starting position, is this even possible? There is no time for letdowns as they face the 8th toughest schedule in the country. Will Saban masterfully motivate a roster of only 10 returning starters and have them ready for the challenge? We must really ask ourselves the question, is Alabama really done? Through 2022, Saban has made 11 coordinator changes at Alabama. A huge section of Alabama fans were not fond of previous coordinators Bill O'Brien and Pete Golden. Bill O'Brien did oversee 2 outstanding offenses in Tuscaloosa, but his 2022 offense ranked 11th in yards per game, the first time Bama finished outside the top 10 and their worst ranking since 2017. At a program where defense was once king, the Tide's defenses have finished outside the top 10, except for 1 year of Pete Golden's tenure. Now steps in young offensive coordinator Tommy Rees from Notre Dame and hardened veteran Kevin Steele. They both seek to restore Alabama to the hungry days of old by incorporating toughness and discipline, something missing from last season. Currently, after an incredible run of quarterback play from Jalen Hurts, Tua Tagovailoa, Mac Jones, and Bryce Young, it appears the position is as uncertain as it's been since the mid-2010s. During his 2 seasons at Bama, Bryce threw for 8,356 yards and 80 touchdowns. The Crimson Tide relied on the former Heisman winner too much last season to drag them over the finish line. Does the Tide need a superstar quarterback to win a natty? No. Bama still won big with said uncertainty. It made the college football playoff with Blake Sims in 2014, won a national title with Jake Coker in 2015, and nearly won another with Hurts as a true freshman in 2016. But clearly, Saban was unsatisfied enough with Young's potential replacements, Jalen Milroe and Ty Simpson, that he brought in Notre Dame's erratic but exciting Tyler Buckner after spring ball. The old adage goes, if you have 3 quarterbacks, you have none. Let's hope that is not the case here. Whoever emerges as the starter will have time to grow into the role. Reese will be operating with a whole lot more talent this season than he's ever had at his disposal. So there's at least reason for optimism that he can liven up the Alabama offense. The only parts of this offense that appear solid on paper are the offensive line and the running backs. A return to the ground and pound, murder ball days of old until a quarterback emerges would be nice, as Reese prefers a balanced offensive attack based on his 3 seasons at Notre Dame. Alabama's offensive line has the potential to compete for the Joe Moore Award for best offensive line in the country. Their offensive line could become their biggest strength for the offense in 2023. J.C. Latham returns at right tackle for the Crimson Tide and is a projected top 15 pick in the 2024 NFL Draft. He earned an 84.5 pass blocking grade on true pass sets last season, 4th among FBS tackles. Alabama also brings back Seth McLaughlin, whose 74.3 grade in 2022 ranked 2nd among SEC centers. While they're the only returning starters for the Crimson Tide, there's a reason to still expect a lot out of the other 3 positions. Tyler Booker is projected to start at right guard and looked impressive in 2022 on over 400 plus snaps. Darian Downcourt should start at left guard, and Elijah Pritchett is the favorite to start at left tackle, and he was a top 35 recruit in the 2022 class. He's currently battling Caden Proctor, a top 10 recruit in the 23 cycle, for that job. The running back room is loaded, starting with Jace McClellan. McClellan steps into the number 1 back role in a money-making year. With a full season to get back from injury, McClellan figures to once again be a big part of the UA offense after finishing 2nd on the team in rushing with 655 yards and 7 touchdowns. Senior Rodell Williams, sophomore Jam Miller, and freshman top 25 recruit Justice Haynes and Richard Young provide plenty of talent and depth. The wide receiver room lacks star power, big play potential, and struggled with drops last season. But there is plenty of untapped potential oozing out of that room, starting with Ja'Cory Brooks and Jermaine Burton, who led their position room in receptions, receiving yards, and receiving touchdowns a year ago, and will look to lead the receiving corps this fall. Kendrick Law, Kobe Prentice, Malik Benson, and Isaiah Bunn will all play a large part in the offense this season. Hopefully, the quarterback and wide receiver connection works wonders this summer because, according to Alabama stats from the A-Day scrimmage, the wide receivers caught 22 of their 47 targets for a 46.8% catch percentage. Last year, Alabama finished among the top 25 nationally in 3 defensive categories, including scoring defense, total defense, and passing defense, but will look to improve upon those numbers in year 1 under Steele. What does not always show up on the stat sheet, however, is toughness, which Steele is looking to reestablish. 2 preseason All-Americans are returning in highly touted lockdown corner Kool-Aid McKinstry and linebacker Dallas Turner. The Crimson Tide allowed a combined 84 points in their 2 losses. They were particularly susceptible on the ground, giving up more than 180 yards rushing on 6 different occasions, including allowing Auburn to rack up 318 yards on the ground. Additionally, Alabama was the 3rd most penalized Power 5 team in 2022 and tied for 126 out of 131 FBS teams. A little bit more discipline should help the Crimson Tide cut down on that number. That alone might have been enough to turn the Tide's 222 losses, which came by a total of 4 points, into victory. The Crimson Tide is likely to go forward in an overpowering and motivated manner when the 2023 season kicks off. An underachieving 11-2 season is a dream season for most, but not at Alabama. Paul Feinbaum alleged Saban's legacy is on the line if he didn't make the college football playoff this season. I don't agree. I don't think the door has closed on Saban. His legacy is firmly cemented as the greatest to ever roam the college sidelines. Saban has heard all the external noise, and he is one who refuses to lose. He will go down swinging. His unshakable will to win is evident throughout his time at Tuscaloosa. He will have Alabama football ready for vengeance. The biggest questions Coach Saban will have for his players are, how tough are you? How disciplined are you? And how will you respond when everyone is rooting for you to lose? Alabama used to thrive in those situations. Hopefully, they bring it back. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.